90 miles an hour is the speed I drive.
Did this experiment. I was in the New York City subway. It was in the winter. Everyone has a big coat on. And so I'm just looking at heads sticking out of the winter coats. And I said, why do I know who's male and who's female as I go down the line?
I don't know, bone structure, height, muscle mass.
A simple question I ask myself. And I say, well, these 6 people are female. Those 4 are male. Why am I sure of that? I was sure of it because what I was queuing on were features that are secondary and tertiarily added to a person's appearance. So,
shoulder width, that's secondary? That's tertiarily added?
all the girls, compared to the boys, I looked at what are the girls doing? They have, on average, longer earrings. They have 2 earrings. They have, on average, longer hair. They have eyeliner. They have tweezed eyebrows, longer nails.
Wow. Let's just take a moment and reflect on what the astrophysicist Neal deGrasse Tyson is telling us, that women have long earrings, long hair, tweezed eyebrows, longer nails. This really is groundbreaking stuff. If he didn't write this in a scientific paper to have it peer reviewed, I mean, this would be his probably first peer reviewed paper. I don't think he's ever really published anything. That would be remarkable, and it would be game changing for gender science in the Western world.
Average painted nails. They have makeup, a blush. Okay, and if there was any hair on their upper lip, that got removed. Any hair between the eyebrows, removed. If it's all trimmed there, and I said, those are the girls. What are they wearing? They're wearing girls' clothes. Well, how do I know they're girls' clothes? Just go to the store. They know how to sell you girls' clothes.
Again, folks, groundbreaking information being relayed from astrophysicist Neal deGrasse Tyson. Just go to the store and they will sell you girls' clothes. Folks, I don't think I've ever heard anything as revolutionary as that.
Whole section for just girls and women.
I mean, this guy really is the intellectual powerhouse of modern America in the year 2023. I mean, he is the Albert Einstein of our time.
Okay, I'm just saying girls and boys. How about the boys? Oh, the boys. If there's anyone who is a little thin and flabby, they went to the gym. So they sitting down and they got some muscles they can show you.
I thought you said they were in winter coats. Why are you looking at the boys' muscles? Why are you looking at the boys anyway? And they're thin and flabby. They went to the gym. I mean, look at this guy's face. This is a scientist. The most revered scientist in America is this guy.
They've got, and they might grow a beard and a mustache because that's a manly thing to do.
Well, look at his mustache. Is that very manly? Looks like a diseased caterpillar. Or like, if you don't clean the mat outside of your shower very often, there's like, wilted old gray pubic hairs in there.
Wearing boy clothes because they went to the boy section of the store to get it. And if
I don't know who this podcast host is, but man, that's really intense. It's mind-blowing. First of all, no man goes to the boys section to buy boys' clothes. We're talking about men, or are we talking about boys? Because I'm frankly still confused.
Chest is not as large as she wants it. She goes and gets surgery to make it bigger, as 300,000 American women do every year.
I know several. You're right.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course, it's Stephen A. Smith, the man who single-handedly ruined like men's daytime television and sports television and broadcasting for anyone with his ridiculous. I mean, another intellect. I'm not going to be cruel to him. He is another genius who is literally. I mean, these are two peas in a pod. They are perfect for one another. And what's great is Neal deGrasse Tyson knows the actual statistic of how many women get breast augmentation every year. It's 304,723, and if you count the transgenders, it's about 402,612. Good God Almighty! And what they don't understand, like all this with the women with the long hair and the painted nails and the breast augmentation and the muscle shirts in men. All of this is not some secondary thing. It's to attract a mate of the opposite gender, or if you're a lesbian, for example, and you're a very feminine lesbian, you're trying to attract a woman who is in her sort of masculine energy, and we've all seen these people.
Okay, so my point is, apparently, the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient because.
Well, they're not insufficient if you're like trying to procreate. Try that with an XY female.
We wake up in the morning.
Actually, don't try that with an XY female.
We exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice.
Yes, my point exactly. It is not to portray the gender of our choice. It is to attract a mate. Men go to the gym and wear muscle shirts because they think that will help them attract a female. Women will paint their nails and wear long hair and put blush on in order to attract a male. I mean, this is a supposed scientist, and he doesn't know this. I mean, we see this in apes. We see it in the higher mammals. We see it in animals that are further down the evolutionary chain, masculine and feminine behaviors. And most of it, all of it, really, is to attract the most high-quality mate. This has nothing to do with projecting whatever gender that you feel like in the world. This is the intellectual powerhouse of 2023 America.
Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is. And so now so now just to tie a bow.
And look, we see this with transgender people as well. I mean, the whole point of drag. I mean, if you've ever seen a drag show or a drag performer, it is sort of a parody of femininity. It is a man dressed as a woman in like the most ridiculous, over-the-top clothing that a woman would ever wear. So, again, these are typically gay men doing this to attract other men. The straight women on the subway are not doing this because they feel like a woman today. They're doing it because they are women and they would like to attract a successful man.
This, I say to you, somewhere I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosome.
Stephen A. Smith. Yes. So deep.
I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I might feel 80% male. I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt.
Okay, so what he's talking about now, and as a scientist, he should know this is ridiculous. He's talking about emotions and feelings. These are fleeting things that have nothing to do with the reality of the situation. He says, as an example, he wakes up and he feels 80% female and he's going to wear some makeup. First of all, that would be a horrifying sight to look at this man in makeup or drag. Secondly, if we're talking about feelings, which is what he's actually talking about, then he could wake up today and feel 80% Japanese. He could be a Japanese woman, according to this logic. Now, Neal deGrasse Tyson is very clearly an American black man. He is not Japanese. He will never be Japanese, no matter how much he feels it. Now, I guess he could move to Japan and get a passport, and I'm sure some university there will let him dumb their children down with whatever he wants to lecture about. But he will never be ethnically Japanese. Period. End of story. Just like he will never be an actual woman. Now, I have nothing against people who want to do this with their lives, who feel that they're trapped in the wrong body and they want to dress and display themselves. And look, I'll even address you as the gender that you want to be or portray. But you are not, if you're born with a vagina, you are not a male, so, like a real one. I'm sorry. I can address you that. I can play the make-believe game if you want, but you're really not.
Why do you care?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What business?
You know why we care is because we care about truth. And what you're talking about is a scientist who's supposedly your job is to seek the truth. The truth is, however I feel today, some days I wake up and I'm crabby and I'm angry and I'm pissed off. Some days I wake up and I'm in a great mood. Some days I wake up and I'm hungry. Some days I wake up and I don't eat until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. These are feelings. These are emotions. They have nothing to do with reality. It's this sort of your truth thing. But there is no your truth, my truth, Neal's truth. There is the truth. And that's what I care about. That's why we care about this. Yes, I can be polite. I can call you by Miss or Mr. or whatever pronouns you want to use, but you're still not a woman. Again, try procreating with an XY woman as a man. It's impossible because it's not a woman. This is scientific fact. This is reality, and it is truth, and that's why we care.
Is it of yours to require that I fulfill?
And this is the little thing that the pseudo-intellectuals do too. When he uses what he thinks are big words like require or fulfill that we can't use. Require or fulfill what does he say? Your inability
to think of gender on a spectrum.
I don't have to think of gender on a spectrum. I know that an actual female with 2 X chromosomes, unless there's some sort of disease or genetic defect, can produce a child. A female, quote unquote, with XY chromosomes cannot. They don't have a working cervix, they don't have a working vagina, and they don't have ovaries. So this is science. This is science from America's number one social media scientist in 2023. We're screwed, man.